My name's Steve and I love people who make things. We're a nation of inventive, inspiring makers.
This room alone will produce 100,000 items a year. But yeah, it used to be full of cows.
And then I'd be, Afghanistan or Iraq, sat in my room just sketching out designs, waiting to come home to play around with them.
I'm on a mission to list the greatest products we make, because if we don't champion the skills on our doorstep, we risk losing them.
Running down to our left, we have hand cutting. The problem is getting labour now.
One of the biggest challenges we have here is our ageing workforce.
Join me as we hear stories from behind the factory doors.
I remember drawing my dad's house and he said, "Why don't you count the bricks?"
Oh, he wanted you to be quiet, didn't he? Do you ever have any sleepless nights, Alex?
I don't sleep.
Together, let's make more makers. Welcome to the factory next door and welcome to the city of Sheffield in South Yorkshire. A city actually that's just about to go through a rebrand, getting a whole new visual identity. On the train up here, I was just reading the council's kind of 14-page proposal. It's all about celebrating the city's importance when it comes to the history of things like football, climbing, craft beer, health technology. Do you know what word was not in the council's 14 pages? Steel. But we are here to celebrate steel because number 30 on our list of the greatest products we make here in Britain are the kitchen scissors. You and I are currently stood outside of a beautiful brick building in the centre of the city, and I'm just about to ring the doorbell next to a fabulous wooden red painted door. Whilst I go in and say hello, have a listen to what's coming up in this week's show.
People have something with scissors. There is so many stories about scissors.
When I first say to people, "Oh, I'm a scissor maker," they think, "Oh, it's just a factory worker stood on a production line," but it's really not that.
Sorry, had you not been to Sheffield before you bid to buy this company?
No, it was by telephone. Sometimes you have
You
to do...
really wanted those scissors, didn't
I
you, Paul?
wanted my pair of scissors.
So you can either add more to everything there. We all learn how to do everything here because there's so few of us left who can make scissors. We're all trying to learn everything.
When I'm 85, I could say, not bad. That's very English, huh? Not bad. I'm Paul Jacobs. I'm a scissor maker. Not by nature, but since 6.5 years.
I've gate crashed the birthday celebrations.
Kind of. It's Natalie's birthday.
Natalie, what are you doing for your birthday?
So I'm going to Broadstairs for 3 days.
I have got my fingers crossed for you to have nice weather. Let's pretend Paul's not listening. Is it good fun?
It's really good fun. Yeah, I mean, it's just addictive. I knew what a good scissor was because my mum's a dressmaker, so there's always been rules around what scissor you use. But yeah, it's a really, really lovely place to work. It seems a bit ridiculous that you get to work in a very historic but very fun workplace where they're all quite young. You know, we're all quite a young team, so we just get on really well.
Does your mum still make dresses?
She's gone on to quilting. I bought some of our quilting scissors because
That was my next question.
It's so wrong not to. And she straight away went, "Oh, they're too good to use." And I was like, "No, you have to use them because there's no point having scissors in a drawer. Get them used. You can't do any damage to them. You know, they can be re-edged, repolished, reset for hundreds of years. So get them used."
So, Paul, did you always intend to own a scissor manufacturer?
When I was very young. No, it was completely...
Was that always your life's dream?
No, but if I knew what I know now, I should have focused on it when I was young. It's fun. It gives me pleasure. We do something unique.
So if it wasn't your life's dream to own a scissor maker in Sheffield, tell me how we got here.
So in 2011, the fifth generation of the Ernest Wright family took over the business, and wanted to go in a new direction, want to bring back a pattern of kitchen scissors, which is called the cut right. To bring it back, Nick Wright, he raised money for that.
Raised money through the Kickstarter.
To the Kickstarter. And
Is that the tea boiler?
We always keep hot water here, so we can have tea every moment we like.
Right.
There is always hot tea.
I think having tea on tap is supremely important. Is it just going to die down, the sound from it, in a moment?
It's part of Yorkshire.
Yeah, the tea maker was crowding you out there, Paul. So the company launches a Kickstarter campaign to do this.
The campaign itself was successful, but the execution went in all kind of problems.
Where were you living?
I'm living still in the Netherlands.
So you're in the Netherlands. You see a Kickstarter campaign for some beautiful pairs of scissors.
I want that pair of scissors.
You place your order.
I place my order. I get updates from the company every month, but after 2 years, they did not succeed, and the company went belly up. Also, the owner passed away, so the company was bankrupt. I get this message at home.
You get an email saying, "Thanks for your order, but."
But this terrible news we have to bring, and company will be closed. And I thought, what a shame. I was so looking forward to my pair of scissors, and I thought by myself, wait a minute, I want my pair of scissors.
You must have really wanted those scissors, Paul.
I was looking forward to this pair of scissors, so I reached out to the receiver of the company, and I made the winning bid, which surprised me because I didn't know anything about Sheffield or scissor making. So
okay, in we go, to be greeted by a giant tub of green liquid. What is that, Paul?
So we use 3 kind of metals here: stainless steel, carbon steel, C50 and C60, and carbon steel will rust or corrode. So this green stuff you see in there is anti-corrosion.
Give me a little idea of what we're looking at. There's a lot of benches here and machines here.
We can do that, but normally we start somewhere else.
Oh, right, okay, sorry, I'm jumping the gun. We're going elsewhere. This workshop just goes deeper and deeper.
Watch out.
These machines are the start, okay.
These machines are the start, and that's where we grind in the hollow of the blade.
I'm going to need help understanding the hollow. So you're getting the elements of the scissors, which, kind of roughly I think everyone can understand and appreciate the 2 pieces.
This is a blank, and here you see that we grind in the hollow. The scissors should touch only on the sharp edges. So that's why the sharp edge itself should be the highest point.
So a good pair of scissors, actually, it's not flat on the inside
Never
blade.
flat.
It's concaved slightly.
That's why the twist.
Okay, here we go. Now I'm seeing scissors and shears in a whole different light. They're not flat blades, and it's with these machines here.
So these are made in Italy. It's called the Viotto, and we have 3. These are all 3 from 1972. These are for our workshop modern machines.
Modern technology, a mere 50 years old.
A long time ago, yes. So I make the winning bid, and then the receiver says, you had the winning bid, but I cannot guarantee what you're buying is there. I said, okay, I come to Sheffield, and all the machinery...
Sorry. Had you not been to Sheffield before you bid to buy this company?
No, it was by telephone. Sometimes you have to do...
You really wanted those scissors, didn't you, Paul?
I wanted my pair of scissors. And so I called a friend and I said, do you remember this story of the scissors? He said, yes. I said, do you want to go on an adventure and see what we can do? And he said, I said, okay. I said, then you have to pick me up tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, because tomorrow we have a meeting at 3 o'clock in Sheffield.
What were you doing before you became a scissor maker?
IT, telecoms.
IT, telecoms, yeah. So closely associated with
Very close,
the scissor industry.
Very close. And we bought all the machinery back from the scrap metal guy who bought it from the receiver, and we called also the landlord, like, yeah, I cannot pay you for the past, but I can guarantee you the future. And that's where we started.
When you arrived for the first time after your winning bid had been accepted, and you'd driven 9 hours from the Netherlands
in a modern electric car, and then we end up here thinking we were in a time capsule driving back in time. So these are the saddle grinders. We have two kind of wheels on it. We can do the inside of the blade, but normally we use these for etching, so putting the sharp edges on the scissor.
You can see why it's called a saddle grinder, because you you sit like it's a saddle in front of the grinding stone.
This is to protect your manhood. So
that looks an important piece of metal.
In the earlier days these wheels could explode. You don't have it anymore because we have a more modern composite. But it could explode, and then you don't want to be in the way of these ones. This is, by the way, James. He's
hey James, very nice to meet you.
Just was awarded in December or November by the Heritage Craft as Trainee of the Year. He's now 4 years with us.
Oh, congratulations. Did you always want to work in this kind of environment, creating things?
Yeah, for sure. So I've done lots of metalwork in the past, like blacksmithing, stuff like this, like a blacksmith since I was like 12 years old. So I've always been interested in the metalwork and stuff. Never enjoyed academic pursuits, wasn't a big fan at school, and I found that I just really enjoyed making something from nothing.
You might not be academic, but clearly you're very smart. Smart in what you're doing here, and also I saw you playing chess earlier in your lunch break.
You know, smarts can work in different ways.
Of course they can. Do you like chess?
I do indeed. I mean, it doesn't have many parallels to scissor making, but it's kind of related to another thing I do outside, which is jiu-jitsu, which is another physical pursuit in a way, creating something from just your body. You know, it's another extension of the same patterns of thinking. You know, and that's how I see it. You know, all the things that I do like align with each other, which is why I'm so passionate about it. When I first say to people, "Oh, I'm a scissor maker," they think, "Oh, it's just a factory worker stood on a production line," but it's really not that. And that's why I like people like you coming around, so you can actually see what it actually is, what we're doing at Ernest Wright. You know, it's such a special thing.
I can really attest that it's so not a production line that we're seeing here.
Yeah.
On the train up, just now, I was exchanging messages with a listener. Hello, Louise, who makes kilts. And I said, oh, actually, I'm just popping up to Sheffield to record a show. And she was like, are you going to Ernest Wright? And I said, oh, blimey, you know, well done, actually, I am. And she said, I've got a pair of shears from them. They sleep in their box every night, and woe be anyone who tries to take them off me.
People have something with scissors. There is so many stories about scissors, and everyone has a granny or an aunt or a mother. Oh, there's scissors you cannot touch. But it is also, we had people, they just bought 3 scissors, 3 large ones, and he had a flood. And he was most worried about his scissors were rusted because they were underwater. He sent them back, and we because it's just metal, so we grind it and we polish it again, and it's there in a brand new form. They said, wow, they cannot believe it, but that's the fun of working with metal. Very in the beginning, there was a scissor from 1930, because there is a lifetime guarantee. People sent scissors back, and there was a pair of scissors, and he wanted to repair it. It was from him, I think his grandma or even older, and he wanted to give it to his daughter, and he sent it in, and we repaired it. I get the most beautiful emails of this guy, and really pleasant, prosa almost. And then so we sent the scissors back, and he was so overwhelmed, and he was so happy. And then I said, oh, maybe we should do a small article about it. And can you send me some pictures? And then I saw the pictures. It was a kind of a Hells Angel guy. and that's what you learn here, that no, it's all kind of people. A guy in a van, an electrician, or a woodworker, or upholstery. If you are proud on your job and you deliver good work, you want to work with good tools.
You are here in a polishing room, and I've been in many polishing rooms. This is clean because we have a separate extractor, and this is Sabino.
Hey Sabino, you've been polishing for 13 years.
Yeah, almost 30 years, yeah.
How many blades do you think you've done over your 13 years?
Oh, maybe millions. I don't know. A lot. What I like about polish is when you shine the metal, see? This is the most thing I love the most, transforming the metal.
The reflective mirror quality.
I like it, definitely.
We've just stepped out of the polishing room. It's fascinating watching him work because I kind of imagined you just kind of held it there, but he's not. Sabine is constantly moving it and adjusting.
With everything, you need to move it all the time. Otherwise, you get marks in one point.
No, he's very active.
Yeah.
The way that he does it.
That's what you cannot learn on paper. This is years of experience.
You can see it.
Dear Factory Next Door community, my name's Lou and my dad is Steve, host of this podcast. When he's not telling me bad jokes, he's recording this show. He's got no team behind him, no agency funding it. He pays for everything. If you can afford to, would you please buy him a coffee so he can keep this show on the road? Go to www.buymeacoffee.com/The Factory Next Door. I'll also put the web address in the About section of the show and on his Instagram page. Thank you for helping to keep my dad busy and out of my hair when I'm trying to play Minecraft. I'll let you return to the show now.
Shall we have a chat with Jonathan?
Yeah, this is Jonathan. We love to have arguments because of the sake of the argument.
Hang on. So Jonathan, what do you argue with Paul about?
Oh, everything.
Or just everything?
No, absolutely everything. Yeah, certain stuff that I can't repeat here. But it will.
It's a family-friendly show.
No, we will look for any excuse to argue. So we'll argue over the colour of tea or the shape of scissors, political climate in the world and UK. So
There's lots of arguments to be had there.
He's a Trump fan and I'm not.
That is a lie.
Oh, I feel so awkward now, stood here.
Cut this out.
Did you say you've been here 5 years?
Yeah, it'll be 6 years in May. 6 years in May, yeah.
And why did you first join?
It came out of nowhere, really. I was walking down Broad Lane, this street here, and there was quite simply a chalkboard out on the street that said scissor makers wanted. And that was it, that's all it said, scissor makers wanted. So I, as soon as I was able to, I rang up. I rang the same day, and I asked if I was able to interview. I apologised, I said, I don't have experience making scissors. Paul asked if I was able to come to the workshop that evening to have a chat, and I did, and then I handed my notice in at my previous job the very next day.
Okay. What did you leave to become a scissor maker?
I worked in advertising and web development, and I'd been doing it for 7 years at that time. And on this one day when I was really contemplating everything, I just see this chalkboard, and I thought, why not? Why not? And I have been obsessed ever since.
Literally a sign.
The hook was working with my hands, working in a factory. That's what I wanted to do. But the reason I stayed was because of how insane scissors are. There is so much to a pair of scissors you would not believe. And I've said this before, and it might sound weird, but I'm quite sad that You know, the entire world's been discovered. There aren't things to sort of find out anymore without a massive team of scientific researchers. But with scissors, there is so much knowledge that has been lost. There are so many skills that weren't written down, and now because the UK is empty of all its scissor makers, there's nobody to answer my questions. So there is so much research and experimentation, and then late nights where I shoot up out of bed thinking, I've got it, that's why.
Are you going to buy another British heritage brand?
No. That's a clear answer. I was very far with London-made frames.
We see.
This
So
is
you were
handmade.
thinking of somewhere else.
Yes, but then
I asked half jokingly.
Oh no. I think the focus on what we do is more important than having another brand. Well, I was very far with this frames and
maker.
glasses in London, but it didn't work out because here I'm the guy doing it, not making the scissors. The guys make the scissors, but I'm so involved that with the team we can do it here. But if you go to another craft company, you have to spread your attention, and then I think if you want to do it right with a W, then you should focus. And scissors is just, it's unbelievable. Do you know any other scissor maker? Personally, I mean.
No, I do not.
No. So it's just fun. It's fun.
Okay. Were you saying this is where the magic happens, Paul?
This is where the magic happens, which you have not seen, because this is a skill completely by feel and looking, which is marrying the blade and putting the blades together. That's the magic, because this is the hard part.
Okay, and Neil does the hard part.
I'm one of the people here who do the hard part. We all learned how to do everything here because there's so few of us left who can make scissors. We all trying to learn everything.
Why is it so hard to put the two blades together?
Because of the shapes that have been, because of scissors, there's a lateral force onto there. So if you imagine a knife, the best knives are straight, they are. So you can chop quite cleanly straight down there. And a scissors not like two knives together because they'll never touch there. So you've got to add curves onto it there, which is the reason why, to keep the tension right, that's why we need the skill there is learning where the curve is on it there to make sure that the curve is even along the whole edge of the blade, so we keep on cutting cleanly each and every time, and that's what the skill to learn is there.
When we talk about the skill to learn, I'm just looking here, you've got a big block of steel here and some hammers. Are you literally just slightly manipulating every blade on every pair of scissors?
Every single pair of scissors goes through this. So you got the big metal block is called a steady anvil. You got a putter's ring,
which is just like a metal donut.
Yeah, pretty much. We flattened off that end there because it sits nicely there, so you can get it from clear there. And
so you put the blade over the kind of the metal ring,
yeah,
and then in the hole, that's where you ever so slightly manipulate the blade.
Yeah. To you can either add more curve in there or take curve out that way. You do. So then you start to feel there. So it's not tight in any one place, or it's not too loose in places. So by manipulating the curve, you can get perfect tension all the way along the edge of the blade. You can do.
I want to ask about attracting talent, because you mentioned you'd heard in previous episodes that for some companies it is an issue. Why is it not an issue for you?
I can think about it. I try to create a perfect work spot for people. I cannot do anything else. That's why I ended up making scissors. There's not one guy says, I made this scissor. No, it's a team effort. Each and every pair is made by the team. So being part of a team, creating something with your hands which you can touch and is appreciated by other people, that's attractive.
Are you proud of what you've achieved here?
I don't like the word proud, but I enjoy it to the max. Proud is, it's a buzzword, and maybe when I'm 85 I could say, not bad. That's very English, huh? Not bad.
Paul, it has been inspiring chatting to you. Thank you so much for
we
driving over from the
forgot
Netherlands.
one thing.
Oh, tell me.
You had a podcast about Black Horse Lane, and you were surprised by size 40 of their jeans.
I mean, Paul, they look really big to me.
Yes, now you can see them, I wear them. You were talking about my jeans, and I just had to say it to you.
This is a really awkward. This room feels so much smaller. Paul, you make your jeans look like there are 32. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Okay, back from Sheffield, though I have lost my voice after being hit by that bug that's doing the rounds. If you've been laid flat by it recently, I am sending you big hugs. Okay, thanks to Paul and the whole team at Ernest Wright for showing us around their joyous workshop. Number 30 on our list of the greatest products we make here are the kitchen scissors. And into our shed of greatness it goes. A couple of things to let you know about, which hopefully I can do before my voice gives up. The show will take a break now for my voice to recover, but actually it was always intended, because now we need to start planning episodes 31 to 40 on our list. We'll be together again probably in about April, though there will be a bonus episode between now and then. Do listen out for that. And remember, you can always say hello to me on Instagram, at The Factory Next Door. Thanks to all who have started the show on Apple and Spotify. It does make a big difference. And thanks to everyone who has bought me a coffee to keep this show on the road. Hugely appreciated. Okay, I'm going to go back to hiding in a dark room now. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're happy. Until April. Bye.